Hello, the Pioneer viewers. We continue to bring you the latest news about Russia-Ukraine war. As you know, the war continues in full intensity. The struggle of the soldiers in difficult conditions is reflected in the media moment by moment with the effect of technological developments. The war, which has become the focus of the whole world, shows that the Ukrainian attacks have intensified in recent days. Destroying the enemy is the primary goal of every soldiers in wars. Naturally, injuries and disabilities are part of this process. Soldiers wounded on the front line must be treated in the best way possible. In hot conflict zones, where the numbers of soldiers is very important, wounded soldiers must be treated quickly and effectively. Successfully treated soldiers can return to the front line. The real challenge is to get the wounded soldiers from the front line to the safe zone. Recent news reports shows the logistical success of the Ukrainian army. The operation carried out by the Ukrainian army is not a simple operation. It is a rescue operation on the front line. Rescue operations are very difficult and risky for the soldiers. The safety of the conditions of the target to be rescued is jeopardized as the risk increases. For this reason, it must be approached in a professional manner. In the images shared by the Ukrainian army, it showed its courageous intervention. The operation to rescue the Ukrainian soldier wounded on the front line was successfully completed. Reports about the Russian army's inability to treat its wounded soldiers remain on the agenda. The approach to the situation of the wounded soldiers shows the difference between the approaches of the two armies. Moreover, new support packages for the Ukrainian army continues to be announced. Now, if you're ready, let's analyze the latest developments together. As the Pioneer, we continue to report on Russia-Ukraine war. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications in order not to miss our daily map reports and reports on the agenda. I also read all your comments on our videos. Please continue to share your ideas about our content in the comments with us. Tell us in the comments what content you would like to see on the Pioneer channel. Let's start if you are ready. The Pioneer reports. Recently, the Ukrainian State Border Service shared an important video. The video was watched by thousands of people in a short time. The comments were full of messages congratulating the Ukrainian army on its success. Maintaining strong relations with the public is a very important requirement for state. The states are obligated to do so in order to gain the popular support that makes them strong. Times of war are times when people become ruthless and have to make critical decisions. In these periods, it is necessary to consider the lives of people while making important decisions. War, a deadly process, can affect the fate of an entire people through its destruction and consequences. Military units need to be cool-headed and combative. Emotional bonds are formed between soldiers who serve together for a long time. Soldiers who fight together become like a family. As a result, the sense of duty develops in a positive way. When a fellow soldier is wounded, they never want to leave him behind. This is exactly what the Ukrainian army's operations demonstrated. Ukraine's State Border Service recently shared a video showing the moment it rescued a wounded border guard using a drone to lure him away from the Russian forces in the area. In the footage, Ukrainian border guard Serhiy Kopyn said that he was wounded in a leg while fighting on the front lines near the town of Ishvatov in the Luhansk region. According to the Ukrainian Border Service, Kopyn was extremely close to Russian positions in the area. This situation, it was almost impossible to bring the soldier safety. When other troops learned that the soldier had been wounded, they bravely stepped forward to rescue their friend. They prepared a detailed plan for the rescue operation. Racing against time, the soldiers used all their strength to ensure the operation was successful. The injured soldier's conditions was deteriorating as time passed. For this reason, the operation had to be carried out very quickly. Unmanned aerial vehicles started flying over the area for immediate reconnaissance. An air scout, part of the Ukraine's 68th Jager Brigade, found Kopyn, who was reportedly between 100 and 200 meters away from the Russian troops. Going by the call sign "Look," the Scots sent an unmanned aerial vehicle to the wounded guard's location, dropping some hot tea and a note to Kopyn to let him know that he was safe. Kopyn described those moments, saying that at first he thought that the approaching drone was Russian. Kuping thought that end was near, but as the drone got closer, he was very happy to see that it belonged to the Ukrainian army. The note written on the drone was approaching Kuping, made Kuping very emotional. The note said, "Drink the tea and follow the drone." Kuping, who could only move by crawling due to his wounds, followed the drone for about 700 meters until the Ukrainian troops reached him safely and carried him from the battlefield. Kuping expressed his gratitude to the Ukrainian army in a statement after his treatment. "I'm grateful to the heroic soldiers for not abandoning me," he said that the video shared by the State Border Service of Ukraine. Kiev's drones have played an important role in the country's defense against Russia's invasion, including various rescue operations. The Ukrainian army shows the importance it attaches to its soldiers to rescue and operations. Every Ukrainian soldier is valuable, and the authorities are taking a humanitarian approach. While this is the Ukrainian army's approach, the Russian army is displaying quite brutal methods. The Russian army, which does not value its soldiers with practices such as barrier troops and the meat attacks on the front line, should question the reason for the failure. Most of the soldiers of the Russian army are suffering from psychological depression. Difficult conditions and pressure within the army lead soldiers to flee. While the war and conflicts continues in this way, there was an important development for Ukraine the other day. The statement made by the Dutch defense minister aroused great excitement on the Ukrainian front. According to the statements, the Dutch Ministry of Defense is preparing 6 extra F-16 fighter jets to be delivered to Ukraine. A total of 24 F-16 fighter jets will be delivered to Ukraine by the Netherlands together with the 6 additional aircraft specified by the Netherlands. The Netherlands and Denmark were the first 2 countries to commit to donating F-16s to Kiev's forces after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and other officials requested the aircraft from their allies. Norway and Belgium are also subsequently pledged to provide fighter jets to Zelensky's army. The Dutch minister said Ukraine's air superiority was crucial to counter Russian aggression and pledged to continue the support. The strengthening of the Ukrainian army with the support continues to cause anxiety in Russia. And what do you think about the rescue operation organized by the Ukrainian army? How do you think the attitudes of the parties can be interpreted in terms of approach to the wounded soldiers? What do you think is the main difference between the 2 armies? What do you think about the new support sent to the Ukrainian army? We care about your opinion. Please share it with us.